Good afternoon. I'm Joseph Robinson. I'm here to read. I am. My wife is a former nurse here at the elementary school. When she retired, she got me. She gave me the duty of coming up here to read for the kids for the last 8 to 9 years, and I've enjoyed it. And I'm very pleased to have been asked to come in and read this booklet. Um, I belong to Salem United Methodist Church. I've got two boys, four grandchildren, and two great grandchildren. And when I left, I got the word another one was on the way. So I'll read to you with a lot of joy. Snowman Magic is the name of the book that I'll be reading. It's by Catherine Tigan, and it goes, Snowmen fall from the sky unassembled. And that is an anonymous person who made that statement. It has been snowing all day. Snowing. George was bored. There was no school, so he needed something to do. He kept looking out the window. Would it ever stop? The next morning, the sun was shining. When George looked out the window, everything was a brilliant white. The snow was so bright, it was almost hard to look at. If he squinted, he could see it was very deep, and it had drifted high against the slopes in his backyard. George put on his warm socks and his snow pants and his flannel shirt. Then he put on his snow jacket, his boots, his mittens, and his hat. He was ready. George was ready to get out there. Outside, the air smelled clean and cold. George plunged into the snow. It was snuffy, but crunchy. He made a snowball and threw it against a tree. It was a very quiet thump. George took some snow and packed it into a ball. Then he started rolling the ball in the snow. The ball got bigger and bigger. And when the ball got too heavy to roll, he stopped rolling it near the bottom of the slopes. Then he started rolling a medium-sized ball. He put it on top of the big ball. Finally, he made a small ball for the top. George went inside the house and found a scarf in the closet and a carrot in the refrigerator. In the old days, his mother told him people used to take pieces of coal and use them to make eyes. But there weren't any coal in George's house. So he found two buttons and brought them outside with the scarf and the carrot. He carefully pushed the buttons into the small ball near the top. He stuck the carrot in the center. He found a small twig and used them to make a mouth. He wrapped the scarf between the top ball and the middle ball, and he found two branches to stick into the sides of the middle ball. It was a perfect snowman. George turned his head. He thought he saw the snowman smile at him. Could it be? Time for a snack, said George. He went in the house and got two mugs of hot chocolate and some cookies. He put them on the snow table. Would you like something to eat, George asked. I can't drink hot chocolate, the snowman said, but a cookie would be nice. It was magic. After that snack, George made a cave. Tunnelling deep into the slope, he piled up snowballs at the entrance. Then he threw a couple at the snowman. The snowman made some snowballs and threw them back at George. His long branch arms helped him throw the ball very far. It was hard to say who won the fight, but it was all still fun. The snowman chased George around the yard, and then George chased the snowman. The snowman couldn't move that fast, so it was easy for George to sneak up on him. See, he didn't have any legs, he couldn't move fast. It was starting to get dark. George didn't want to go inside, but his mother was calling him. "Goodbye, snowman," he said. I will see you tomorrow." George thought he heard the snowman say, "Good night." The next day was warmer. The sun was even brighter, and the snowman was shrinking. George played with him all day, but he could tell that the snowman didn't have quite the same energy. See how he's leaning over? He's beginning to melt. Then it was Monday. George had to go to school. It was another bright, warm day. When he came home, the snowman was almost gone. The scarf and the carrot and the buttons had slid down. He could hardly recognize his snowman. The cave had collapsed too, and the snow table had melted. That's what it looked like when George got off from school. The next morning, George looked out the window. It was snowing, snowing, snowing. He couldn't wait. Starting to snow again. To build his snowman again. Thus is the story of George and the snowman.